Hello, everyone, and welcome to Spill the RT episode 88. Hi, Josh. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. Sounds like I'm doing better than you are. You have a cold or something,
I'm
huh?
very, I'm very sinusy right now. Very
Oh,
sinusy
poor
indeed.
baby. Poor baby's got sickness.
Poor baby. But I'd be like one of those Hollywood actors now, where my voice can go into the lower register, because
Yeah,
everything has to be really down here when we're speaking in Hollywood.
sure. The thing is, now you sound like a nasally baritone as opposed to just a nasally person.
I'm not that nasal. Do you think I'm nasal?
I think on playback, when you're editing this, you're going to hear yourself and go, wow, I really sound like I have a cold today.
Yeah, yeah. It's all in here. So if I'm coughing and splurting and all of the above, just keep on moving. It's okay. It's fine. I might speak a little less.
Making the case once again for remote viewing.
It's fantastic. There's nobody being infected in this recording.
Exactly. You keep your effluvia over there. I'll keep mine over here. It'll all be good.
Excellent. Egg salad, as they say. Although not if you're a vegan, you don't want any egg salad. So,
Well, you
Josh,
can. They have vegan egg salad now. I
they
wouldn't eat
do,
it, but
they do, they do. I've seen it. I've seen it. I'm not sure I'm a fan. I'm not sure I'm a fan. It's a bit rubbery for my liking.
I don't know what to tell you. All I can say is not for me. How's
Not for
that?
you. Not for Josh. Not for Mr. Stein over there. Not for Mr.
Hmm.
Stein.
You
So,
want to know what's going
Josh,
on?
yeah, we want to know what's been happening.
All right.
We've had a little break, so we're ready to get
So
smashing again.
this week, the Met Museum in New York announces free memberships for SNAP recipients. Red Stripes in the Welsh Cave declared Britain's oldest art. Yet another Louvre heist update, plus two more heists that happened last week, believe it or not. A return to 1990s parenting styles, and Scorsese defends use of AI in film production, believe it or not. All that and a brand new guest are up next as we spill the art tea. Welcome to episode 88.
My goodness,
88.
that's a bumper load of stories, Josh.
It's a bumper load of stories, and this is like, we got to 88 episodes. I don't know. I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah, yeah. Only 12 more to the big centenary.
Jeez, yes.
I
It'll
know,
only
I
take
know.
us 5 months to get there.
That's okay. It's all G. We got to keep the people wanting more, Josh. Got to keep the people wanting more.
Oh, I see. I see.
And
Random drop. Random drop.
random drop. Not at all. Not at all. We have another episode next week, and then I'm going to France. So,
Nice.
so
Very nice.
there we go. But let's
We
talk
bring on
about
our guest.
let's bring her on down. So all the way from America, where you are, it's Regina Link. Hey, girl.
Hello.
Welcome,
Amen.
welcome,
Amen. I
welcome.
feel you because I've been suffering from allergies and I feel like sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I'm Batman.
Exactly. Yeah. See, and I can't. If you listen to any previous episodes of the podcast, or if this is your first
Yeah.
one, for those who do not listen, um, my voice is never this low. Although it's squeaky, apparently, according to Josh.
It is. I knew immediately. I knew immediately. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it.
It's all in
Fantastic.
here. It's all in here. It's all in here.
Absolutely fantastic. Anyhow, so
Anyhow,
off we go to New York. Off we go to New York. Regina, have you ever been to the Met? I'm sure you must have been to the
I have.
Met.
Yes.
Yeah. And so you know that the cost of getting into the Met has only gone up over the years. Like I remember when I was a kid, it was like a couple of bucks. And now I think the
Hmm.
last time I was there it was like $30 or something. It's like it's not an inconsequential fee to get.
Yeah. No, for years I would only go on First Friday because huge
Because it was
consumer
free.
banks would bankroll, the free First Fridays, and that's like the only day I could go.
So the Met Museum actually has come up with a new program for SNAP recipients. For those that don't know, we're in the UK or elsewhere. This is people who are on supplemental nutrition. So these are folks who have very little money, right?
mm,
They are now getting free access to the museum, which we've talked before about how instead of all these ways of museums trying to attract tourists, why don't we get the locals to get them in for free instead? And guess what the Met
mm,
is doing?
Mhm.
Exactly that. And so I
mm,
wanted to bring this up because I applaud it.
mm. Let the wealthy pay for those who can't afford it.
Well, and the tourists.
Yeah,
There's a lot of tourists that go to the art
Yeah.
of
museums in New
course.
York, right? And so
Hmm.
subsidize it off the back of tourists and then let the locals go in for free.
Mm.
It's a pretty logical
Yeah.
kind of thing to
And,
me.
and they would go at different hours, different days, different seasons than the actual tourists, and they're not really competing for time and space either. So
No, not
Mm.
at
I
all.
think it's a win-win.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. I actually only saw a recent thing about this Snap thing actually on the TikTok reels as I was uploading our previous episodes. And they were just talking with some person who was going on about what the nutritional value of Coca-Cola is as a complete side story. And she wouldn't give a particular answer about that. Um, Classic
This
politics.
is Well, this is part of the back and forth about supplemental nutrition. It gets played
Mm,
around with all kinds of ways. What counts as food that SNAP should support and what doesn't? Is the food being wasted on things people shouldn't waste?
mm,
Is this always, the rich, what the rich love to do?
mm,
They love to dictate to the poor about how they should live because
absolutely.
obviously, since they're rich, they know much better about how life should be led, which
Mm,
of course is a whole bunch of bullshit since most rich people have their money because their parents and families have, in some way, shape, or form, done bad things to other people and the world. But we're not supposed to remember that
yeah.
because, hey, it wasn't me. I didn't do anything.
Yeah. Bringing them into the Met, teach them about
Yeah.
culture. That will keep them nice and uplifted and motivated
Yeah.
for new things.
I think
Yeah.
research also shows that the extremely wealthy have higher kind of percentages of like mental health issues
Hmm.
too.
I
So,
can't imagine why.
yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. More money, more problems.
Well, between the inbreeding, right? We know we have actual evidence from this from the past, right? Of rich lineages that have literally bred themselves into absolute stupidity. So, like, why would I be surprised at this at all? And they've
This is
shown
true.
money makes your brain different. The more
It
money
make
you
the
have,
brain different. Are you earning some money, Josh? Money
I
make the brain
wish.
different.
Honestly, I've thought about this a lot, right? Because I've done lots of different things, but I never had any money, and I still managed to make it work,
Hmm?
right? And so my whole project, one of the things I do is I give away art. Why? Because art should be for anyone, not just the people who can afford it. So to
Absolutely.
me, I don't want to be around people with a lot of money. I don't
Mm.
like people with a lot of money. They don't look at the world the same way as I do. I can say that for sure.
Oh. Well, you're very good, Josh. You're very good. Well done.
It's
Excellent
not about.
work.
I just like something like this, where particularly the Met Museum, which is considered to be the people's museum, right? It's
Mm.
different than museums in New York, and so making it free to the people of New York, who by and large really can't afford to go to museums otherwise,
Right.
that's a good thing.
It is a good
That's a
thing.
good.
No, it's good.
Yep.
It's good. Boom. Boom.
Boom.
That story is shifting on back into
So
the past.
off we go to Wales. How old
Wales.
Oh,
do you
Wales.
think? How old do you think the oldest art is in Wales?
Pretty old, I'm sure.
It's like a Jeopardy question. What is
What is the oldest art in Wales? Okay, well, tell us. Give us an idea.
It's these random red stripes they found in a cave. Of course, it's always art in a cave because that's the only thing that gets preserved, right?
We love a
From
cave.
17 from 17,000 years ago. Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
these vertical, it's like diagonal red ochre stripes. So
Mm.
apparently, 17,000 years ago, there was someone playing around in a cave making some marks. There you go.
Ah, these hunter gatherers maybe might have just brushed their meat off the side of it or something. Had a bit of a
And
remnants
they're
thing.
they're
They were
they're
very
getting some,
angry.
yeah, they were getting some fur off of their steak. They're like, yeah.
You're the writer. You come up with a story here. You tell us the narrative. Then.
What is the narrative of
Oh
these
my gosh.
stripes? What are their
I don't know.
intentions? What are their
2,
intentions,
4,
Regina?
5. I don't know. Maybe like some child was didn't want to take a bath and they're just like trying to hold
Brilliant.
on to that bowl, drawing blood.
Yeah. It's
My
bloodstains,
personal
blood
theory.
pigment.
Well, given many of these places you have to like crawl into, right? Like, and there's these passageways and things. I just think it's like teenagers who go off to like, have sex or smoke the equivalent of cannabis, whatever they were using back then. And then they're like screwing around and they put some marks on the cave and then they wander away. It's
Oh,
kind of like what teenagers do today.
okay.
It's like Josh was here kind of thing.
Josh was here.
It's this funny thing.
W Z.
It's this funny thing in Napa, one of the two places where I spend time. They've been doing these drone like views of the city, right? And
Mm,
so they all these shots of buildings and things downtown, so you wouldn't normally have access to, like where the rooftops are. So
Oh.
behind the Old Town Theater in downtown Napa, there's this huge sign. Behind it, like 8 feet up, is all these names that people have put behind there across decades of people that have worked at the theater. No one can see it from the street until the drone showed it. No one would even have known it was there. It's kind of the equivalent of these cave writings to me. It's like
Mm.
people stuck it there, but it doesn't really matter to them if anyone else gets to see it or not. I kind of
Yeah.
like that, actually.
But I feel like the modern take is like, as soon as someone discovers it, of course, they'll be like, oh, this is vandalism, let's paint over it. But then a cave in Wales, they're like, oh, we need to preserve it because it is 17,000 years old.
Well, I think I would think today it becomes the opposite. It gets turned to something people can charge for access to. Want to see what everybody has done? Give me $10 and you can see.
And put a ribbon around it, a big, cut it
Yeah,
open,
you,
put
you
some
gotta,
red rope.
yeah, just elevate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Put a little ticket terminal in the front of the cave. Perfect.
Gift shop around the back.
VAT.
The
Love
whole
it.
point of remember Kilroy was here, just this
Yes,
little face
Oh,
with little fingers,
yeah.
and the whole point is just, hey, I was here. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that's very good. I gotta go to Wales now. So there you go. Can you speak Welsh,
What can I
Josh?
tell you? So, are you ready? Off to France for yet
Off to
another
France.
infinite number of Louvre theft updates.
You
Regina,
the
I'm sure you know about this. You remember
Yeah.
this big thing, the whole clown
Mhm.
car kind of situation, right?
It,
There
it
is
it didn't
now,
even seem real.
I know, well, it gets worse. There's
Yeah.
now a Polish connection, and apparently, at least some of what happened here is it's been moved off into Poland, but they don't know
oh
where it's gone once into Poland. So that's like the update, at least. They know some of where this stuff ended up. It definitely left the country and ended up in Poland. But have the French learned anything from anything that's happened here? No. Two more museums were robbed, each of multiple millions of dollars of worth of things within the last week.
oh. So it's moved from
And
Belgium now to Poland.
essentially the same kind of MO, like
Hmm.
back doors, video cameras that
Video
weren't
cameras disconnected.
on.
Yeah. Yeah.
In one case, an alarm went off, and it was the housekeeper who showed up to deal with the ringing of the alarm because the police had not. You're a museum with millions and millions of dollars of worth of stuff.
Can't be bothered.
Can't be bothered.
Can't I don't understand. I don't. I'm an American,
I
right? We
think I
have
think it hurts you, Josh. It hurts you.
well, a typical American is going to have like a security door on their front door and alarms and cameras and
Yep.
like 9 levels of defense. And the
Yeah.
Mhm.
idea of a museum not having at least that,
The
just I think,
Europeans have a different mentality. You go to the
Yeah, I
back
think
door of
so.
anybody's house
Yeah.
in Ireland and it's open,
Hmm.
ready for you to come in and have a cup of tea
Yep.
because that's what we'll welcome you with.
apparently it's not just the door in the back of the houses.
It's not just the houses, it's the galleries too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
I
as long
just,
as I wonder, do they do the same for the banks? Are they that trusting with the people in France? Do
Yeah.
they just have the banks open as well? Is that a thing?
what you know, one of the conversations I have a lot in a startup that I'm at is I don't mind that there's a problem. I just don't want to have the problem twice.
Yeah.
Right. In other words, the first
Hmm.
time we have it, cool, we'll fix it. Then let's
Yep.
put something in place so we don't have this problem again.
Mm.
Basic, simple, like not revolutionary logic here, right?
Yeah.
Well, was the French team playing in the World Cup? Maybe everyone was distracted by the
Ah,
game.
you see, there you go. Way
Yeah.
to bring it to the current affairs there, Regina.
Yeah.
What's the World Cup? Is that the thing
I
with the
truly
is that
hadn't
the thing with the grass?
I truly hadn't thought about that, but that absolutely
But
could be why
it
they decided.
tracks. The timeline tracks. And did Poland get kicked out? Like, is that why they're?
Ah,
I don't know. I don't know. Did they
ah,
even qualify? Yeah,
you're
I don't know.
asking the wrong person here, Regina.
Yeah,
No,
no, no.
no.
Yeah,
No,
Maybe if it was
I don't
figure
know.
skating, I might have an idea, but that's about it.
I do not know.
maybe if it was table tennis, I would know a little bit more about it. But yeah.
But almost as bad as tennis. Boing, 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 boing. It's just looking over and back like a crazy thing. Oh dear, Josh, that tea
Well,
is spilled anyway. I think we're done with the heist.
but this one's for you, Regina. So there's a new trend. It's a
Mhm.
trend backwards for parenting. It's called the
Ah,
return
yes,
to
the
the
pendulum
90s.
always swings the other direction every generation.
Return to the 90s parenting, which means reducing digital down to more analog kind of things,
Hmm.
buying VHS tapes and
The
VHS player.
landline.
The
I swear,
landline,
I'm not making this
dial
up.
up.
Like this is
No, no. These conversations are alive and well in my mom groups, believe
so.
it.
That's let's get the mom group thought about this
Wait, why is it called Butter Mom? Butter Mama, by the
because it's
way.
the butter Chardonnay, right? And so it's
Oh,
back in the
oh, like the
back,
box wine, barefoot. Yeah.
drinking because I think
I'm literally on a different planet here. I have no idea what is happening.
because there's a sine curve that goes along with this, right?
You're
And
Okay.
you're right.
there's moms today who like they call themselves the 420 moms, and they're kind of more associated with like the digital lifestyle. And so the butter mom is associated more with like the semi-digital analog kind of lifestyle. Like I said, like the VHS tape, the cassette tape as opposed to CDs.
Yeah, kind of like the whole
Mm.
like internet free household.
Yeah.
No devices until, or no social media maybe until like your
Ah,
child is in the eighth grade or ninth grade.
interesting.
Things like that.
Then,
Yeah.
mm.
There's this controversial thing that Eamon may not know about. It's called free ranging, Eamon, when you allow your children to actually go to the park by themselves.
Oh, here, I'm
Now,
all for that. I'm all for that.
when I was a
That's what
child,
I
like
did when I was a kid. Out the back, go play. That's what I was told.
Yep. Don't
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 come
come
back.
back until the street lights turn
Yeah.
on, kind
But
of.
somewhere between the late 90s and the early aughts, right, that apparently is gone now completely.
Yeah.
And so,
Streets aren't safe anymore.
like I said, you've
Unless
got
you're in Ireland and then you can just go to any house through the back door and
Exactly.
have a
Yeah.
cup of tea.
well,
Exactly.
you've got two elementary age kids, right? Like,
Mhm.
how are you raising them in a digital environment or trying to not raise them in it? And there's no judgment either way, right? Like,
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah. I mean, I think that the reason why there are these two extremes is because of how time starved a lot of parents are. So they have to go one track or the other. They have to
Yeah.
commit fully to analog life in which they don't have to monitor digital consumption with their kids, or they just, yeah, like they just say, okay, I'm going to embrace the digital lifestyle. My kids are just going to be exposed to everything, and I will deal with things as they come up.
Yeah.
And I feel like my husband and I, we have, as often is the case, bitten off more than we could choose by choosing the middle road,
Yeah.
in which we go neither, and then drive ourselves crazy trying to navigate both. But we do have internet in the house, and we do teach our older son media literacy. So he has internet time, but it's in a public space. The volume, he's not like plugged into headphones. We can hear everything he's looking at.
Oh,
And so some of it is just like entertainment. And
yeah.
he does have a time limit on that. But it's a way for him to at least stay connected with his friends, not feel like a total outcast. But then at the same time, it's like we have an ear to what he's listening to. So if we notice something is like AI generated, we point it out. We're like, hey, like here's
Yeah.
a learning
Yeah.
opportunity in which you can actually like I take these clues and figure out that it's AI. If it's something you're interested in, you can actually go to
Mm.
a website. You could go to a library. You can research more about it instead of just consuming these like 1 minute videos on and
Yeah.
just taking everything at its word. It is so much work.
Mm.
We will probably
It
change
must
our tactic
it
later,
must
but
be such a challenge because like the parameters are ever changing in this
yeah,
world, you know?
exactly, exactly.
There's never something that's going to just stick. It's going to completely
Mm-mm.
evolve every other minute. There's something new
Yes,
to
yeah,
be considering. They're
yeah,
doing something in the UK now. They brought into law that children under 16 or teenagers under 16 are no longer allowed to have access to any social
right.
media. And
Yep,
there's
yep.
a blanket ban on that. So it's
Hmm.
yeah, it's they're doing something about it. But then you see the thing is you have that worry as well of like, well, if you don't encourage your kids to use technology, then they're not going to be able to compete with those who are. And in what, I don't know. I don't envy your position, Regina.
There's a
Yeah, no, I
conflation.
don't either. I don't either. So
There's a
if any of you guys
conflation
want to
between
step in any day of the week, I can tap out anytime.
but that there's a conflation there between like social media and technology,
Yeah.
right? Like
Right,
I
right.
learned to write code when I was 5 years old on an Apple One, right?
Mm,
Like that was the 1970s.
Yeah.
That's what we had. I wasn't, even when I was playing video games, I was writing the video games that I was then playing, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
Like,
yeah.
there was a level of involvement that I think it doesn't have to be one or the other. You can just simply remove different layers.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's no
Yeah.
different than like allowing your kid to not watch an R-rated film. You're not saying
Yeah.
you can't watch films, you just can't watch this kind of
Yeah.
film.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, I think
Yeah.
in that sense, I guess you are a 90s mom, because to me, it just reminds me more of like the dialogue from the late 80s into the 90s, which was parents like monitor what your kids are watching. Like, this is not a particularly difficult thing. Just be aware of what they're actually paying attention to. That was
Yeah.
before the web. That was
Yeah.
about broadcast television,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's just about
I
how do you
mean,
want to be a parent?
I think now it's just the landscape is like Eamon said, it's so quick. I mean, as soon as one video is over, you're served up another, and like you could, like kids could spend hours and hours being led down a certain rabbit hole, and for the most part, like parents are occupied, worried, busy with other things to
Yeah.
not keep
Yeah.
tabs on that. Whereas, like, I feel like, I mean, I grew up in the '80s, and it was just like there were shows that just ended, and there were commercials.
Yeah.
And yeah, there were video stores, and you couldn't just keep watching, right? You were
Mm.
forced to stop, and now that has just gone away, right? Yeah.
Certainly one of my favorite things in the cinema now, or the pictures, or whatever you call it over there in the States, is the trailers before the movie.
The thing you could be guaranteed was no matter what channel you were watching, at a
Yeah.
certain point, the news would start in the
Oh
middle of the
yeah, yeah.
afternoon.
Or the
Yeah.
soap
So even if,
operas, right?
Yeah.
yeah, that whatever it was, the point was as a kid, what you wanted to watch ended, and there
Ended.
was no
Yeah.
alternatives. So you turned it off and did something else because there
Yeah.
was nothing to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I was allowed to stay
And
up till 9 o'clock to watch Desperate Housewives
oh,
on a Thursday, you know?
What?
I know, right?
speaking of, but
I know.
I'm gonna have a
speaking of,
talk with your caregivers.
so speaking of the use of AI, Martin Scorsese has gotten himself into a bit of a pickle here because he's
Mm.
admitted to using AI for his storyboards. And he says, look, it takes me so long to work with a human storyboarder, and I can get an AI to do this for me in minutes. And so why wouldn't I use this as a tool to speed up my ideation? It's not actually filmmaking, it's just figuring out what I'm going to
Yeah.
do before I do. And of course,
It-
this has got him into a huge flap because all the actual human storyboarders are like, guess what, guy? We want to keep our job. Why are you
yeah.
supporting?
He's been talking about this for a while, though. I remember when the Harry Potter stuff was happening, and he was offered to direct it. He was like, "No, no, I don't see this happening because I feel like I'm going down this AI route now." And he was like, going at this like a decade ago more. This is something
Well,
that he's been kind of.
then he did a film where he digitally aged and de-aged Robert De Niro, and it looked horrible. It was like the fakest, weirdest looking, just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
Just
he's
give it a
embraced
month; it'll look amazing.
he's embraced this stuff. I'm not, I can't. It's Scorsese, right? Like, he's
Yeah.
allowed to do what he wants to do, but it's not like how he does it is the only way it can be done. He's an auteur. He does things his way, but
Mm.
there's plenty of artists that do things their way.
I can't imagine Scorsese skipping some of the ideation process from the mind of creating and like the development of ideas and whatever he's prompting or however he's delivering it. You know, I'm sure he's doing it in a more ethical way than some others
Yeah.
Well,
potentially.
Well,
they,
there's also the question of like, well, how did the AI get so good at storyboarding
Mm.
through training, machine training that capitalized on human
Yeah.
storyboarders. And,
yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, I'm forced to use it for work and it does speed up certain processes,
Mm.
but we just always make sure to have a human in the loop before
Yeah.
anything actually progresses to the next stage, right? Like, if we need to come up with a dozen different ideas, it is a lot faster to let the AI generate the original. Get us started here. Give us some ideas,
Yeah.
and then we'll take it from there, right?
Mhm.
But that doesn't mean that we let the AI make the choices at all.
Sure.
It sounds like he's letting the AI make some of the choices, because like storyboarding is
Oh,
literally about like
no.
deciding what the shot's going to kind of look like.
Hmm.
But is it like that, or is it like, I mean, I'm totally speculating because I'm not too familiar with what it is his process is. But like, if you
Yeah.
were to say establish, right, this is the scene setup and this is what it's going to be, and because storyboarding is quite like it's quite intense, that you could say, well, for the next 6 frames, I want a close up, I want like a mid frame, I want a wide shot, and I just want to see what that looks like based on the scene that I've created first. And that
Hmm.
in that way, it's speeding up the process, but it's taking on his original idea and just showing what that would look like in different
Yeah.
frame setups.
It just reminded me of like George Lucas doing episode one with the laser pointer and just making thousands of changes over and
Yeah,
over again. And it was just nothing but yes, 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 sir, yes, 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 sir.
yeah,
Like 1,000 people gathered around him, all these different like animators and like different things that were going to have to do the work. Right. And every time they looked at the new print, I want this change. I want it was just change after change after change after change because he's like noodling in his own,
yeah. I think
and
as
so
as all of us designers, we all know exactly the heartache in that.
But so, like in that sense, you're saving a lot of people a lot of time and energy and grief. The flip
Grief.
side is you're paying them because you're letting the
Yeah.
AI like do that mental noodling instead.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question mark that I don't think there is a particular answer to.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
do
I
you use
think
it
like
all?
there's also the question of like the cost is still there. It's just shifted elsewhere because the AI is being supported in other ways
Yeah,
environmentally
yeah,
through all of
Yeah,
the data centers and things like
yeah,
that. So it's like the cost is being carried out not through labor,
yeah.
anymore, but rather, elsewhere in the environment that is a little bit, it's easier to just, pretend that's not there.
Yeah.
Well, do you use AI at all in any of your writing work?
No, not currently. No, I mean, I am fairly new to writing and illustrating, and so I feel like I had just, I mean, I've only been publishing my books for about 5 or 6 years now, so I feel like I'm at a point where I'm like, I've hit a point where I understand the traditional publishing process, and then this AI thing kind of just like reared its ugly head, and now I need to kind of figure out how it's impacting. But I haven't used it. But it's like you said, like I can see how it can streamline my process very easily. I have
This
not dipped my toe
is a,
in
a,
yet.
ni- a nice little segue into you, actually, Regina.
Yeah.
Or a nice little smooth curve in there. Um, I have this most stunning image that you supplied us with that we are going to share with all of our listeners and watchers today. Do you want to maybe like talk to us a little bit about what it is that you do?
Sure. So I am a children's book illustrator and author, and all of my stories are based on the three traditional Chinese philosophies, which is Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism. It is not as dry as that sounds, but they really are just like modern fables that read and
Okay.
look like classics because they mix kind of like this Aesop's fable kind of
Oh, yeah.
very tight, very concise, very satisfying stories for kids to read. Not too preachy or moralistic, but and then it's paired with ancient traditional Chinese painting, and so it centers around a young boy, kind of inspired by my own son. And
Oh,
in Little Helper, this book that just came out, it's really inspired by Taoism. It's about how this boy who has an idea of how this perfect day is going to pan out, and he's faced with a lot of obstacles. And instead of just powering through and trying to like force the situation to fit his needs, he kind of flows with the obstacles, with the challenges, and ends up kind of hitting on that sweet spot that resolves everyone's problems in
oh,
the end.
wow. How beautiful. That's amazing. The illustrations, first and foremostly, because we can see this right now, they're just divine. And they're like you really did capture that oriental illustration aesthetic, which
Oh,
is just
thank you.
gorgeous. So where is this available now, this story, this particular one? How do we get to see this
Oh
or
yeah,
read it?
so it's available wherever you buy your books, and it's probably more suitable for kids kind of between the ages of like 3 to 8. Although I have presented these stories to, kids as old as like 10 and 11. So there's like different layers that, you can explore with kids. Kids are a lot deeper thinkers than I think we give credit for.
Of
And
course.
yeah, the illustrations were so fun to make because traditional Chinese painting is often centered around elements of nature, but this story is mostly focused on the boys' community. And so I had the chance to do a little bit more research into kind of the domestic scenes. There's like this is a nature scene, but if you go to the next one, there's kind of a kitchen scene with more domestic details, food. There's tools and things like that. So it expanded my kind of repertoire as an illustrator and
Wow.
what I could study and dabble in. Yeah.
And these are pen and ink and watercolor.
Oh, so that is how I learned traditional using traditional media. But for this book, everything was created on iPad Procreate.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh,
Excellent.
everything was
Very
created
good.
with it.
And like, is that something that, how do you find working between a digital medium and a physical medium? Because you've really got the aesthetic
Yeah.
of the
It
painterly kind of quality here as well.
it took a while moving from traditional media to digital to a completely digital environment. And I feel like with traditional media, it's like you have so much feedback in terms of the smell, the tooth, the grain of the paper, the sounds that you hear, and you get a lot of feedback from your art physically.
Yeah.
And then well, I was living in Taiwan when I learned this, and then moving to the US, there was no way I could get the same materials or the same quality of materials in the US. And so I decided to make the switch to digital so I could take my work with me anywhere. And so when I switched to Procreate, it was like operating in a vacuum. Like I
Mm.
it's like, painting blind, And so it took a while for me to get used to that, to kind of notice more subtle feedback from like the visual cues that I was getting, and then kind of recalibrating my muscle memory a little bit more.
Mm.
But it took kind of the better part of a year to play with different brushes and different textures and things like that before I hit a point where I felt like I was approximating the
Yeah.
result of a traditional painting. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm an illustrator too, and that's one of the reasons why I haven't taken the time because it would just take
Yes.
too much time to. It's exactly the tactility. It's exactly working with the actual paper and inks that I find
Yeah.
most enjoyable.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
I
I
really,
definitely
oh,
miss it.
yeah. Well, what I really kind of enjoyed about what you said there is about the feedback that the physical form resonates back. I think that's really interesting because when I do make physical work on a canvas, because I do operate a lot in digital media, but when you are working with a canvas and you step back, it is like you are having a dialogue between the textile and the physicality of it and the tangibility of it, which is quite interesting. I kind of never kind of actually thought of it like that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so, what is the future like? What's happening? What are you working on at the moment?
Yeah. Yeah. So Little Helper is kind of the second in the three Chinese philosophies. So I'm working on the third one, which is a story more centered on Confucianism, which I feel like gets a bad rep in the West. Like it's
Oh,
all about like respect your parents and respect your
okay.
elders and do as you're told. But the story is more centered on the aspect of Confucianism, which is like when people are at odds with each other, how do you still treat each other with respect and find ways to kind of expand everyone's perspective so that we
Yeah.
can come up with a better solution? So that's kind of the third story that I'm working on. And then I also have a book in the works called The Tao of Nature, which is elements of Taoism that are inspired by the natural world. And I've been doing a lot of gardening as a part of my research, which is
You can see that.
completely
You can
new
see
for me.
you can see
I'm
that.
total butter mom, Josh.
Well,
Yeah, with
that
my
sounds
wine
more like
glass in the garden.
that sounds more like 70s mom, right?
Yeah, yeah, maybe, yeah, that's true. Yeah, homesteading,
Oh,
kind of,
And where can
yeah.
people get a hold of your work?
Folks who are interested more in kind of the Chinese philosophy can learn more at oxherdboy.org, or if you just want to follow me at reginalink.com, that's kind of more of my writer artist page. Yeah.
Great. We'll throw the links to those in our descriptions that you can find across all of our podcast channels and indeed on YouTube. But yeah, no, that's really great. My goodness, Regina, you've got like already got such a great catalog of work, and I'm so excited to actually get the book and read it and go through it. And I'll read it to my corgi. That's as far as I can go with the children, from the children
Hey,
perspective.
as someone with a dog, sometimes my dog is my favorite child.
Oh,
There you go.
you broadcast that live to a million people. Well
Wait,
done,
edit it
Regina.
out. Edit it out for posterity.
You love your children, Regina. Yes.
Yes, I do. I do.
No, it's been amazing. It's been amazing for you to have you on and to share your story and your stories. So yeah, we'll look forward to catching up with you again soon, hopefully on Spoon RT.
Yeah, likewise.
That'd be amazing. We're coming towards the end of the show now. But before we go, Josh, would you like to ask our listeners and viewers of what it is that they should do?
Please, sir, can I have some more? No,
More?
can you share, share, subscribe, send it 3 friends, leave a comment,
Yeah, thumbs up.
buy some swag, send a guest our way, be a guest.
Yeah. Define
How's
what
that?
define what octave I am speaking in today. Leave all your comments below. If you've any sinus remedies, please put them in the comments below. That would be much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you for the love. Thank you. Thank you.
Please, sir.
Oh, I thought you were
Please.
blowing me kisses.
No. Please, sir. Please.
Please give me some porridge. We also have a little announcement as well. So our latest edition of Anecdotes, issue 3, went on the shelf on Tuesday last. So do check out www.newcollective.com for your latest edition of Anecdotes, which features 12 articles, including one from yourself, Josh, and
Yep.
myself indeed too. So have a look at that, have a read. There's loads of different perspectives. You can check that out for free. There's an entire issue for free available to digitally download, and also you can buy. What I am doing is I'm doing a little bundle. Josh, look at this little bundle that I'm doing. So all 3
Ooh.
magazines. In magazine format for only $16.99 plus P&P. So you can get that also through our website on the Newer Collective website.
Nice.
Yeah, so there you go. That's all. That's all for now, folks. Is there anything else from you, Josh? Any other
No,
updates? Excellent.
no.
Regina?
Made it to 88. Come check in next week for 89. Who knows what
Absolutely.
awaits?
Yeah,
Who
and
knows?
don't forget to stay creative, and we'll be spilling tea next week. Bye for now, folks.
Excellent.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.